So about 9 years ago, I quit my job as a welder, and I welded bull bars and kind of like roof racks and nudge bars and all that kind of thing, like four-wheel drive type stuff. And I did that for about 12 years. And I often ask myself, was it worth quitting a job, like a secure job where, you get paid weekly, it's secure, like the time of day was pretty good, like everything was just okay, like all that stuff, like welding, the money, got me by and all that. But I always wanted more and, more time, more freedom, more money, more flexibility, all that kind of thing. And it wasn't the job's fault, of course. It was just where I was in life. And I often ask myself, was it worth leaving? And the answer is, of course. Of course it was bloody worth it. Like being able to now do what I want, what I sort of dreamed of, which was, freedom and just being able to work for myself and have time, location freedom, whatever, all that kind of stuff that people go on about that you see on social media, doing their ads for that kind of thing. That's what I wanted. And it's definitely not overrated. All the gurus going on about it is overrated. Just the sort of the videos you see about it. But actually wanting it, absolutely not overrated. If that's what you want, then I absolutely urge you to go for it. Yes, it is stressful. Yes, it is 10 times or more the work. And they're probably the two biggest things, stressful, 10 times plus the work, and also you're not going to have as much money, all right, especially for the first while, unless you're really good, you hit it, and that's very few and far between people that actually do that sort of hit it straight out of the gate. Good on them, but it's probably not going to happen. So I would absolutely urge you, if you're aiming for it, you're trying to get out of your job, create a different kind of lifestyle for yourself. Very, very, very worth it, but you got to be prepared. You got to really want it. Really, really, really want it. You can't just kind of want it. It's kind of like, I have a saying, it's kind of got to be like an F yeah or an F no. You've got to, there's no other option, basically. You can have backups and all that kind of thing, but there's really got to be no other option for yourself. That this is what you want. This is the path I'm taking. It doesn't matter how long it takes. I want it to happen quicker, but it doesn't matter how long it takes. So, when I look back at, quitting sort of almost 9 years ago, 100% worth it, but it can be a long sort of hard road. I would say realistically, the first couple of years was whilst making a living, doing what I was doing at the time. I was making a living, and that was doing this kind of little side hustle type thing, I guess, publishing books on Amazon. I don't do it anymore, but that was what got me out of my job, which was I'm very thankful for, of course. But that was the vehicle I used, and I forgot what I was saying. But anyway, it's totally worth it. But you got to have you got to have your vehicle, your business or income model that you're sort of going to use to get yourself out of your job. And obviously, you got to be prepared, and you got to have some money saved up. Or there's people that don't do that. There's people that just go straight into it, and maybe they quit their job. I had a reasonable amount of expenses though, and so everybody's going to be different. I did have a reasonable amount of expenses and money, sort of a monthly or weekly costs that I had to cover. So I couldn't just do it. If you have very low costs, maybe you're going to move overseas and while you do this and have a low cost of living, or you got some kind of setup where you're living with somebody where you don't have to pay rent and stuff like that. Awesome. I would highly urge you can sort of do some arbitrage like that. Arbitrage your living expenses will make a massive, massive difference, because the more time you can spend on your business or income generating sort of activity that you're going to chase or do, then the better. So yeah. But going back to basically the title of this video, was it worth quitting? Absolutely, 100%. I've probably said it 3 times now. I highly urge you to do it if that's what you want to do. You may even do this. You may even want to go become an entrepreneur and chase some kind of business model. And you might not like it. You might find that you hate it. You might hate the amount of work that you've got to do, the amount of stress that you've got to go through, the amount of time that it is going to take. You may just absolutely not want to do it at all, and I wouldn't blame anyone. And everybody is not meant to be an entrepreneur anyway. Like, we need people working jobs. We need people doing things. And there is nothing wrong with that. If you're feeling guilty about that too, by the way, don't. Because some people, they might take this jump and like it. Some people may not, and not like it and need that security of a job. Nothing wrong with that at all. You need that, and you can do other things. You can have a job and still do other things as well. But again, that's another video. That's another thing that I could do a video on sometime. But yeah. Anyway, if you want to follow along on my journey, then on this channel, I talk about kind of like low risk entrepreneurship and personal development. Then subscribe.